Accumulate over days and just a check for days. Let cash accumulate over days and just a check. I gotta chase that check, but you ain't got no spend, and you ain't just no check. Then you ain't get no money, then you ain't got no tech. And I can bleed it, and I can trust it, and I can bleed what I wanna do, I want it, and I can bleed what I wanna do, I love it. They hating on me in public, I love it, but I be chasing money, and I be chasing honeys, and that's my fucking problem. I'm a fucking dummy, but I'm a curse one, and that's one day, honey, and you gon' get that one day when I'm done chasing money. Cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days, and chase that check over days. Chase that check. Yeah, chase that check. I had a moment of silence, cause I be chasing that check. And this shit so crazy, I don't even stress. Yeah, the bitch laugh, but they ain't the first time she laugh. It's like a boomerang, she come bouncing back, just like on the dick. Yeah, she do a spin, yeah, she do those spins. Yeah, she spin on that 10, yeah, but I'ma stay on point. I gotta get that money, just like my joints. They spread out, and I fly my wings. If I was a bird, I'd be a wing. Yeah, you get it? Yeah, that's first class shit. First class, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Bitch, I'm the pilot lit. I'm the pilot lit. Business owner. I represent. I'm from the fold. Everybody throw up that shit. Let cash accumulate over days. Chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. Chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days. Let cash accumulate over days. And chase that check for days.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. Almost a good night here. It's been a good day. Welcome. This is the recap with Let Cash Accumulate Over Days. I am the business owner and the managing member of LCAOD. This is recap coverage from the stock and crypto market. These are live ideas of thought and studies. This is not financial advice on this stream or with this company. With that being said, let's get straight into what happened today. Wow, the big pow wow day, big pow day, the big FOMC statement day. It all came to reality, man. It was a lot going on. The market moved. It made its move in a direction it wanted to. But you guys, you got to be humble. You got to stay calm. You got to stay patient. The move is not done. It's honestly actually just getting started. What they really was explaining was, how they about to go forward with the move and like what's to come. And they're really looking at the banks. They did key that out. Powell did, but we're gonna get into all that. This is the recap. We're gonna go over the SPY, the triple Qs, the IWM, the Dow, and the VIX today. We'll go over JPM, Tesla, Spotify, and Microsoft. These are the plays that LCAOD is looking at this week. And we looking at these plays, and really the earnings plays, we were looking at them, but no one played them because we didn't want to take no gambles. So, but at the end of the day, those were like the top two earnings plays anyway. You had Chewy after the bell today, but not too much movement. GameStop really didn't hold its fullest gains. Nike, they pulled back. So it went back up to 125, but it did pull back. by the end of the day. So a lot today, but this is what they wrote here. This is the recap of what happened, basically summing it up here in text form. So the Dow Jones drops 400 points after Fed hikes rates, says banking crisis could hit the economy, you guys. So that's key, going forward. As of it was around like between 3:25, the market just started going down all the way to about 3:54 p.m. It bottomed out kind of right there. The 30 stock down traded 482 points lower, or 1.5%. The S&P 500 fell 1.4%, while the Nasdaq Composite declined 1.3%. At one point, the Dow was up as much as 201.29 points before turning lower. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq gained 0.9 and 1.3% respectively at their session highs before the rate hike came into the market at 2 p.m. You guys, so that's what happened today. Summing it up, we're gonna look at the charts. We're gonna get right into it. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but we're just gonna do the recap, and like I said, what we're looking at over here. But yeah, man, that's pretty much kind of what happened today. Like basically, so Powell, the hike came out, the 25 basis points. They did go 25. So basically, the statement, nothing changed in the statement, you guys. Basically, the only thing changed was they said they're gonna something about a pause. So they're gonna be pausing coming soon. So the market didn't kind of like it rallied at first, and then I guess it kind of reality sank in, and then it started to come down. The market started to come down. Basically, just the back test and to fill out the gaps from the previous day from the gap up, but not fully. It's still more room to go to the downside for tomorrow. If the market's going to digest the news in a bad manner, so we're gonna really see tomorrow. Like I said, we're gonna see tomorrow. Today, like I said, you got the first kind of like today's like day one of the reaction, and then you're gonna have like another day of the reaction, and then like I said, Friday expiration is gonna tell it all. So that's just what it is. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the actual statement. So if not, you guys, I'll try to have it pulled up at tomorrow's recap or by the end of the week. If not to my clients or the people members in Discord, I'll send it to you guys personally, and we'll just go from there about it. But yeah, the document it's out anyway. You can find it really if you just try to look it up on your own, do your own research. The information is out. So you can find the document. It's public information. It got released at 2 p.m. The Fed obviously they did it. They knew about it before 2 p.m. Then everybody made their initial reactions. But as of right now, looks like the market is closed. It's 8:22, so everything is officially closed. The only thing is open is the futures right now. It looks like it's a little slight green. It says S&P 500 futures are a little changed as investors weigh Fed outlook on rate hikes. So that's going to be key going into tomorrow, you guys. Investors we all are weighing in on this Fed outlook on the rate hikes. I think people are just going to be doing their research tonight, just rereading the whole document itself and just trying to understand and rewatching the Powell video itself too, because I think a lot of people be working when he was doing all that. So everything, the reaction really gonna happen tomorrow, you guys. If people feel like that, what they saying about the pause and everything, but nothing else is gonna change. He was right. They were really like based on inflation, trying to fight it and stuff like that. Then things might not be looking good, but it just depends. Like I said, it just depends if the banks too. Basically they put the pressure on the banks, saying like if the banks if they can hold up, if they can bounce back from just collapsing like that, and all of them can get some more stability back into their flow and their system, then things will be good and everything will be fine. The market will actually go up. So we're gonna see. We're gonna be looking at everything, man. Like I said, we're gonna be looking at bank stocks. We're gonna be looking at everything pretty much, basically tech, big tech. Nvidia, we're looking at AI, Nvidia, and AMD. They've been the chip makers. They've been going up here lately. They're going crazy. The day they have that pullback, man, it's gonna be one big day, boy, because they have been going up. They are up like $100 right now. Like within the past I think 3 months to a year, they're up $100, you guys. So the video has been going crazy. But we're gonna get into the charts, you guys. I was just, looking at seeing if we had any news coming out after hours. Nothing really is going on. Like I said, people just trying to digest what Powell said today in the statement itself. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the charts, man. For real, let's go ahead and get into it. So we're gonna start with the SPY. Let's recap the SPY today. Let's see what the SPY did. We know it moved. Definitely it moved. SPY. So yeah, let's look one. We'll just look at one day. We'll look at one day. Make sure we here. Okay. Righty there. All right, so that's my drawing, and then this is what happened today here, you guys. One day over here. So, all right, so they did hit the levels that I drew up here. They did actually tag it right above it, just a tad bit, teeny incy witty bit right there. So right here is just your top. It looks like let's see. All right. So, okay, looking at it from this chart right here. Sorry, you guys, I'm looking at it. My computer's loading a little slow. All right. All right. Okay, so you hit the levels, like I said. That was the top right here. This is like 5 days out here now. Last week all the way. Then we got the gap up here on Monday, Tuesday, then the continuation, and then Wednesday we got a little bit of a pullback. It went from 399 all the way. Found support right here at 397. And then they brought it up back up to 398 all the way to 400, you guys. So 400 did get brought up right here. It was a solid top there, but they did consolidate it, and then it shot up there to that 402 when the statement was released. But then when it got digested, they sold it all the way back down here from 402, you guys, all the way down here to 395. And then it bounced here back to 399. So a lot of volatility, as you can see. You see the numbers were just changing there. I'm gonna zoom in, get the candles a little bigger. So when it bounced back here, then it sold off again, and we closed down here at 392, you guys. So a lot of volatility. Once that rate hike came into play here in the market. And then that's just what we closed at. So basically what it did end up doing is filling that gap. As you can see, we finally have some wicking candles through that gap there. So we do have a gap fill here. Now we can finally say that's over with from that week and this following week here. That gap fill did happen. So that pullback was bound to happen eventually because they gapped up, they gapped down, and then they gapped up. So they had to get some wicks, some candles inside of the channel, inside of the frames there. But they did do that. They pulled that off. So that's good for the SPY. I do see that it's filled. So the next thing now, you ask yourself, where do we go? Where where do we go? Which way is this thing going? Which way is this thing going? Huh? Which way is this thing going now? That's the next thing you got to ask yourself. And honestly, you guys, it's all about charts and numbers. It's never it's the news and all that comes with it. That helps verify things and confirms things, but at the end of the day, the charts and the numbers is what tell it all here. And I can honestly say that where it's going next, none of us know. We don't know. But reading, if you can read the charts and you can read direction, and you keep up to date with this stuff and you follow along, you kind of got a visual. You got possibilities. You got possibilities. Um, you got things that could happen. So what I'm seeing next is, honestly, we got to look out here at the 1 month now on the spot. The levels I'm looking at next is okay. So this is all filled here. So the spot has to definitely if we're bullish still. I see some pattern going here back to at least 394 retest. If that fails immediately, you guys, and this 392 don't hold, look out for the next. The downside target would be 390, 389 on the spot. It's like a pattern. We just fade. It's gonna start to just fade to the downside now at this point. Everything is out. All the data is out that needs to be out. We got some more economic data coming out tomorrow and Friday, but this was pretty much what everybody waited for. And that's a big red candle right there. But who knows? Like I said, we could find support here and bounce. Looking at the levels to break above 394 to the upside, and if so, just at this point, no play around with it. SPY has to get back to 400. 402 is going to be your next breaking point. Again, you're gonna have to bust through it this time, but SPY 400, you're gonna have to do that now to really show strength and prove that things are okay. But if not, then like I said, look out below to about 390 to all the way to about 389. You guys, we can even go back down to 386, 383 on the SPY. So be looking out for that. Triple Qs. Same thing here. Same thing here. Johns were correct. Everything was everything. They went to 313. You guys bust through it. Actually went to 315. Went above it a little bit. People sold obviously, and it came down. This thing came down all the way to about 306 here on the triple Qs. So like I said, just looking for at this point, the gap is filled. The gap is filled to the upside. So now it's just looking at it to consolidate. If the Bulls are still here, they'll consolidate back to 307, 308. That's what I'm looking at. If that rejects, if 309 rejects, or we don't even see this level, and it rejects here at about 307, and we come back down, then I'm looking out below to the levels at about 303 and that 300. You guys, you can pin it. I'm trying to see what that's about there at the 300 level on the triple Qs. So just looking out for those levels tomorrow. Like I said, the gap is filled to the upside. So now only thing the Bulls can do is consolidate to the upside here to just hold the momentum that they already have, because we still are bullish, but this is technically a pullback, and they can really rally here if they really want to, or consolidate. So that'll help the Bulls. But if not, the Bears are going to take over, you guys, and claw this thing down here. But that's on the triple Qs. Let's get into the IWM. The IWM. The IWM showed strength. It did show strength. GameStop helped. GameStop, the earnings, it helped out. But same along with the SPY and the triple Qs in the overall market. The gap was filled. The drawings were correct here. LCAOD. The gap was filled, as you can see here. Gap filled now. Gap filled. So gap filled to the upside. The bulls want to keep momentum. The best thing they can do for the market is consolidate to the upside. And I'm looking for that to continue back to at least 173.70, 174.10. If that rejects here, looking to the downside, the IWM to break below 170 and take us back to 170.20 on the IWM. So these are levels I'm looking for here on the IWM, you guys. So to the upside, definitely 175 is a key target, and once break above 177, that would be the ultimate big payment there. But definitely, like I said, at least consolidate to the upside. 173, 174 is good. No rejection there, then it is bullish still. You get a rejection there, we're breaking below 170. We're breaking below 170, you guys. So yeah, let's just look out for that on the IWM, you guys. The IWM, the Dow Jones, the DIA. Same thing, gap filled. You can see, came down, sold off. The charts, the drawings were right from the last recap. Go check it out. Hit the like and subscribe button if you could. Gap filled though. Gap filled. So the Bulls actually won. Their job is done. They really might be done. If they want to be done, this is your new top here, you guys. If it don't hold, then definitely looking to the downside at about 317. Really that 314 level. So you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm looking at the Dow Jones to go to next. Let's get into JP Morgan. Look at the banks, So we got to keep an eye on the banks. Powell, he said what he said. He didn't want to say too much, but he said what he said. And put it this way, the banks continue to go lower, it's going to force the entire market to have to go lower. Why is that? Because these companies, that's where they get their money from. And these banks, they get their money from these companies. It's a tit for tat things hand in hand. So if they're collapsing, it's no way the companies can stand up. Who they're going to continue to get more money from? You see what I'm saying? So it's a situation with the banks that, you know, like I said, you got to keep an eye on this right now. This is a real thing happening, and the volatility on it, the speed is very fast. You know, things are actually kind of cheap right now, so it's an opportunity to jump on it before things start getting hectic. Because when they get hectic, then prices will be raised all over the place, and you know you'll probably have people. They already are regulating it now, but it'll be even more heavier if the bigger banks start to collapse as well. And right now, the bigger banks, they're not collapsing. Like JP Morgan right here is not collapsing, but we are seeing the head and shoulders pattern. So we got the left shoulder here. We say this is your head, and then we got a right shoulder here. This thing can really come down, you know. This thing can really come down. It is peaking. It is hanging on by a thread right now. Technically, that this support right here at 124 is the only thing helping here. And, once that breaks, you know, you got to be looking out for your next low here at about 120 at least on JP Morgan if the banks are not looking good, you guys. So keep that in mind. You know, if everything is fine and the big banks ain't worried about what the little banks got going on and that collapsing stuff, then JP Morgan, it'll magnet right back to 130, 132 to the upside. So these are the levels I'm looking at right there on JP Morgan tomorrow and the rest of the week, you guys. Tesla, souffle, Tesla. So Elon Musk. All right, Elon Musk. All right, so looks like Elon Musk had his work cut out for him today, him and his stock, Tesla stock. Looks like the MM stepped in here and, you know, just put up a wall here like, hey, you know, enough is enough. We let you get to 200 And it looks like 200 might be your top here at Tesla. A lot of selling here, a lot of profit taking, obviously. Look out for this gap up right here, this gap fill right here, because this is where they gapped up. This is where all the momentum started on going into Tuesday pre-market opening up. So just it's another gap here too as well though. So you got to be looking out for Tesla. Trying to see if technically that gap is filled here to the downside, but technically they gotta answer for themselves to see like, hey, do we want to fill the 198 gap or do we want to fill this 183 gap? And I believe this is your new ranges here on Tesla. They're just trying to figure it out right now. I don't think we're gonna go outside out of this channel unless this thing does get bullish. I do see upside at about 206, 204 on Tesla. So I'm looking at that level all the way. That could be like a pre-earnings run-up move, or they could say possibly this move here is a pre-earnings move. So the past 2 days they might try to say that this was a pre-earnings move, and going on the rest of the week with Tesla, they might try to say that's a pre-earnings move. So it'll expect consolidation if that's the case up until earnings, you guys. Like I said, but who knows? They might have another move here. They might have an actual pre-earnings move here coming up. So it's just something to be thinking about with Tesla. They're a special stock, man. They can really they really got growth to them. They can really build a portfolio up. I can't say that, but looking at the levels here though. Looking at the levels, like I said, 2 p.m. to 2 all the way to close here. You can see 2 p.m. everything was bullish. It did look fine there, but the 200 was a strong rejection. So this is considered your top. So nothing is in play up here yet. They did fill the gap back here to the downside all the way back to 191 close. So now I'm just looking to see it consolidate back to at least that 195 support on Tesla. If it doesn't look like it's about to retrace 195 to 197.50, all the way back to at least put the pressure on 200 again to retest, then definitely looking to the downside on Tesla at about since 190 was an ultimate target here of support. If it breaks below 190, I'm looking at the next level at about 186, 187. In there, somewhere in there, and then maybe even possibly all the way back and fill that gap for real, all the way to 184 here. So just looking out for these levels on Tesla the rest of the week. Spotify had a big day today. Spotify had a big day today. Oh, Spidey. Oh, Spidey. Oh, Spotify. We're about done here too, you guys. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Got a couple more stocks, and we're gonna go with the VIX. That's it. But Spotify, yeah, same thing. They did get rejected. 133. Spotify hit 133, you guys, today. So Spotify hit 133. They did get rejected. That is resistance now. So that's actual living proof now. We know 133.50 is resistance. So they got rejected there. People is gonna sell at that point. It's a lot of income coming in right there. So not tripping. But they didn't kind of technically even fill their gap yet. So they still possibly might have a dollar or two to the downside to go. Or, this could be support here. We might see Spotify in the green tomorrow and consolidate back to 129.50, 130 might be your new area here of consolidation. So just looking at a $2 move either direction there on Spotify going into tomorrow, you guys. Microsoft. Let's see. Microsoft. Okay, so had a lot going on. They were actually leading the market here today. This morning actually was leading the market. The only stock that was possibly in the green at one point, then the stocks turned green because of Microsoft. So found support at 272, instantly shot up here. That 277, more support at 275, got them to 278. Support again at 275, got them all the way to 279. And then the news came out, 276 got them support all the way to 281. So 281 got them rejected though. This is your top on Microsoft today. So a lot of volatility. These numbers were changing so fast. A lot of volatility. But expect these numbers to get pinned and magneted and be on the board here as the days go on and the weeks go on as time goes on. Like I said, because all the news is out, but the high on Microsoft today was 281. Then they got rejected. Then 275 was support, got rejected again 278. Then it actually sold off back to from where it all started at this morning, you guys. So they closed at about 272.29. So we'll see. We're just actually looking for Microsoft to repeat that pattern. Honestly, don't lose the 270 support, and then you confirm you're still bullish. That's really what it is. You don't lose that 270 support, you confirm you're still bullish. If you lose that 270 support, it's going to start slicing through here. I'm looking at 265, 267, 60 being your next level here on Microsoft, you guys. So those are the levels I'm looking at on Microsoft. Let's get into the VIX. VIX. Volatility was going crazy today. I'm sure of it. It always is. But not too crazy. All right. So volatility today. Went sideways. It went sideways. It found support off of 20, and it shot up here, and we closed at $22. So we kind of still at that same level we were before it got to Monday, and it sold off into it. You know what I'm saying here, and it sold off into that level again. So we're at that level again where things are okay. You'll see the VIX head back to 20 here, and the stocks will pick back up. Or I'm looking at the VIX to, at this point, push back to the next level here at about $24, $25, and you'll see the stocks sell off at that point. So those are levels on the VIX I'm looking at, you guys. I ain't going to hold y'all. Like I said, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to do another recap tomorrow. But like I said, them the levels, them the plays. Y'all be cautious out there. Remember the numbers, remember the charts, and remember to stay patient, man. Stay patient. The long term is the goal. Always be thinking about the future, man. Always be thinking about the next play. Always be thinking about the next thought. Just always be thinking when you do in this market. That's the key. Always be thinking. And that's the key. Make it, but don't just do something that you'll regret. Don't just give your money to the market makers, think about it before you do it. Manage it, balance it out, weigh it out. Make sure it makes sense. Make sure it ain't gonna interrupt your personal lifestyle. All of that, things like that. It'd be key. Make sure it ain't gonna take no food off your table. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. At the end of the day, just read the charts and numbers. And when it's your time, it's your time. Stay on your grind. Take the risk. Be cautious. Stay calm. Y'all hold it down. Have a good night, the rest of the good evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. This was the recap with LCAOD, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.